reviewing the news, pop culture, video games, movies, and shoes. Quincy and Justin with a nerdy forecast. So stay a while and welcome to the Ugly Mugs Podcast.
And I'm your other host, Quincy, who's completely under the weather. Oh, I already ate. I picked up myself an insane thing of soup on the way home. Um, I have coffee, and I've also got a Fresca as a backup. It's a great treat. It's the original. The peach is good. I would personally like to release a kaiju on my city. A lot. I mean, he wanted to hunt something. What cut you out?
Oh my god, it cut me out. Oh, there, I fixed it.
What's going
Oh,
on?
it didn't. So my microphone switched at the beginning of the start streaming. It now can hear me.
Oh, so we haven't been here this whole time.
No, you have. I haven't.
Uh, the chat says hear my voice. Was I audible before?
Yes, I can see your wavelength still doing good. Mine
Okay.
wasn't. Ugh. Welcome to the Ugly Mugs podcast. I'm your host, Justin.
They died.
Oh, okay. Well, that's the other host, Quincy. He's sick. You already heard that part, though. You can't hear either one? I have audio. Yeah, audio's working. Hmm. Hang
Uh-oh.
on. Let
Wait a
me.
minute. JMH, is your computer muted?
Yeah, hold on. I'm checking. Yeah, I'm gonna log in on my cell phone right now to see if I can hear myself. Cause yeah, I don't want to be.
Oh, here. I got my computer right in front of me. Hold
Okay. I'm gonna keep jabbering on just so that way he can verify. Yeah. I know. I want to click that. I want to click in. I want to click in.
on. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, no, we're coming through on the live stream.
Okay. No. Stop. Stop. Okay, there we go. Okay, so yeah, everything's good. Everything's clear. Okay, hold hands up. We're all good. Okay. Wipe the sweat off of my brow. I'm drinking a freaking Canada Dry cherry fruit splash. I talked about the games that were in the Humble Monthly choice, which were, I'm just going to tell the titles: Sonic Frontiers, Tomb Raider 4 through 6 Remastered, Hunt Showdown 1896, a really cool game that I'm interested in, the very strange um, map ARPG called Eterian Odyssey 2, the very odd game Nice Day for Fishing, where you can fight eldritch horrors, Metal Slug Tactics, where it mixes in a good branch of Metal Slug and Final Fantasy Tactics, Settlement Survival, which is just a small settlement, but you can have weird plant creatures, or I guess kaijus in this instance, attack it. And a sequel to a game I'm very excited for called Wizard of Legend 2, where you and up to 3 other friends can use the elements to battle things in a almost Hades-like game. And you also get another month of IGN Plus while helping out Gamers Outreach, which is a nonprofit that empowers hospitalized children through the connective bond of video games. Now, when I unmuted, I was talking about the Hunt Showdown 1896 Choice Essential DLC bundle and how there was a Post Malone DLC that I didn't know existed until recently. But if you happen to really enjoy the very interesting dark western horror themes that Hunt Showdown has, getting the DLC for only $10,
Hello to the chat. Sorry, I'm a bit slow today on that.
yeah, me too. I'm reading 4 different things, but hello. $16 gets you all 10 of these items, including some weapon skins and some very interesting character skins, and it helps out Special Effect. Is a UK-based charity dedicated to helping all people with disabilities enjoy video games, from injured soldiers to young disabled people who can't play any other way. Their rapidly expanding reputation has meant an ever-growing demand for their services, including loaning cutting-edge tool technology such as gaze-controlled computers and specialized controllers. Woo! Badoop. All right, back in the flow. AGDQ, Awesome Games Done Quick, a speedrunning, I guess, donation line fundraiser type of thing, where a bunch of nerds play games very quickly. I think the longest one you'll ever see is probably Final Fantasy VII, and it took roughly 3.5 hours. But during that entire time, everybody's having fun. They've donated a lot of money to charities, and this one here is helping out Prevent Cancer, which I believe was last year's one too. But HEDQ, fantastic organization, does really good with putting things together in a timely manner. But during those shows, they usually have a bundle for Humble Bundle where you can get some of the games that you see on the stream, such as Mika in the Witch's Mountain, which is a nice little 3D platforming adventure reminiscent of Super Mario 64. Rise of the Triad Ludicrous Edition, if you happen to be an old fan of 1990s shoot 'em ups. BPM Bullets Per Minute, where shooting in a rhythmic fashion does more damage. SEUM, Speedrunners from Hell, a very fast-paced grapple 'em up where using a grappling hook as a fat trucker man is a bit of an interesting story. Also, really good heavy metal. Jazz Punk, Director's Cut, a comedy adventure set in a alternate reality Cold War-esque world, but there's a very interesting plot that goes on. I actually recommend this one very highly. Shovel Knight, King of Cards, a 2D action platformer that has you playing as King Knight in a quest for treasure and glory brought to you by...
I was gonna say, is the same Shovel Knight as like
the Yacht Club Games.
Shovel Knight?
Yep.
Okay.
Fear 2, one of the very few games that got me to literally shit my entire ass out of fear. Thank you for the follow. Nuclear Throne, a really interesting roguelite-ish game that has some pretty good Iron Man mode that has still updates to today. Balloons, TD6, also known as Tower Defense 6, for those who like to put up little towers and watch monkeys shoot balloons. And lastly, Minute, a really cute, very short adventure, but there's little secrets all around the corners. I recommend this one too. It's a nice little romp that doesn't take very long, considering it's called Minute. And last but not least, I'll quickly brisk through this one as well. The Carnage Collection. $15 gets you all 8 items, starting with Dead Island 2 for $15. I was having a problem with the ending of Dead Island 2, but I did have fun with it, I will admit.
I didn't play 2. That's the one that took like a century to come out, right?
That is correct. Now, I will admit on Quincy's behalf that, yeah, I got to play it for free when it dropped on Game Pass, which it is now removed from Game Pass, so this would be a good way to help out charity and get an okay zombie fight.
I didn't finish the first one, so...
Oh, yeah. After I beat the first one, I went straight to Riptide, and Riptide made me want to gouge my eyes out, so... Trepang Squared, a very fun... John Woo simulator. You play a super soldier that dual wields weaponry, and you can dive through doors and just light up the other super soldiers that are there to stop you. It's a really fun time. The very interesting comic book-esque art of Hellboy, Web of Weird. This one I was very interested in, but I've heard mixed across the board. The Shark Simulator Man-Eater, where you play a shark that can hop up on land and eat people. A game with beautiful music and beautiful art, Laika, Aged Through Blood. A couple of these songs I have on my YouTube playlist. This has some really good hitting music. Warstride Challenges, I believe it's like a MOBA-esque first-person shooter where where you play in a first-person way, but it does have MOBA elements to it. It seemed very weird. It's done by Focus Entertainment that likes to do new challenges and new takes on things. Easy Red 2, a game that is World War II simulator, but from the eyes of planes, tanks, and boats. So think War Thunder, but everything. And Death in the Water 2, something that Quincy and I probably will not play because you are in the deep ocean with a gun, and you have to fight against...
I could barely get anything into Subnautica because that freaks me out too much.
Yeah,
so I don't know about this.
I don't know about this either. Yeah, no. There's a bunch of sharks and all that, and nah, miss me with it. And there's mer people, that's even weirder. But luckily, all of these games have something in common. they all have a little bit of water because they're helping out Coral Guardian. Coral Guardian's mission is to protect and restore coral ecosystems worldwide by working hand in hand with local communities who depend on them. Badoop. Whew. Now that the Humble Bundles are done, now we can talk about some really good games dropping on Game Pass. We already have the first two, Brews and Bastards and Little Nightmares Enhanced Edition. The second of which I recommend very highly. I love Little Nightmares. That was a good game to kind of go through during Halloween. I wish I could get through the second one though. Later on this month, we are going to get Atomfall, A Lost in Random, The Eternal Die, a dice rolly board game with a little bit more action RPG style elements. The odd game that should never have been, but got unintentionally made, Rematch, the soccer... I'll just call it what it is. It's a Rocket League clone, but with people instead of cars. The first Warhammer 40k Space Marine game. It just says Final Fantasy down here, and it got me scratching my beard because it doesn't say what Final Fantasy. If it's the first Final Fantasy, I don't want it. If it's Final Fantasy 4 through whatever the heck, I'm interested. I want to know more about what Final Fantasy it's talking about. One that Quincy's curious about, but we both don't want to support Ubisoft, so we don't have to anymore. Star Wars Outlaws. I don't understand the fascination between them, but I prefer their old look better, I guess. My Little Pony,
Oh, I was like, what are we talking about? Oh,
Yeah.
I didn't realize you were talking about the ponies.
Yeah, My Little Pony, A Zephyr Heights Mystery. Yeah, nah, y'all can have fun with that one. Then, at the end of the month, we get two really good releases with Resident Evil 8, also known as Resident Evil Village, and MIO, a game I've been very excited for that is hand-drawn, Memories in Orbit. I am excited. Badoop. I'll just briefly talk about it because I haven't played Black Ops 7 at all. Like, I have it installed on the console. I was gonna do the campaign because it got Michael Rooker in it, and I was like, ooh.
Nice.
But I haven't touched it at all. But there is going to be a event pass to also support the new season of Fallout, and you can get the event pass, which will give you access to unlocking the ghoul, have access to unlocking, I forget his name, Maximus, yes, and Lucy. Some really cool, I think they are modeled pretty dang good.
Is it Maximus? Like, now I'm questioning myself because he calls himself something else.
Hold on. I got the whole thing. Yeah, it's Maximus. Power Armor Maximus and Maximus. There's also emotes, weapon blueprints, such as the Torchblade, the Brothers Armament, that looks like the Brotherhood of Steel gun, the Vault-Tec camo, that's going to be in the free pass. Further down, you have the Wasteland Buck for the double-barrel shotgun. You have a little bobblehead emote where you take out a bobblehead and shake it around a little bit. A finishing move where you pull out a minigun and just tear into the person in front of you. I'm like, okay, thank you, Bethesda, for allowing usage of these, bits and bobs. Cute kitty. Oh, they keep. I see. You get some XP tokens, some weapon skins for free.
I'm still not going to play Call of Duty, but
I mean, yeah, it's a good-looking collaboration, though. But yeah, I'm not going to be playing it either. You know what else I'm not going to be playing? Something that I was actually somewhat excited for, but I called it. Let It Die. I had mentioned it a couple casts ago by saying Let It Die had a good premise. It was Dark Souls, but it was an extraction shooter. It had really good PvE with a little bit of PvP elements that people could invade. You can invade them. It's an ever-growing, ever-changing world. I was like, okay. The downside, if you died, considering it's a free-to-play game, you had to wait 2 to 3 hours, depending on how bad you died. and you would have your stats reduced, and you would have to either wait or pay money in order to keep playing, which obviously sounds like a terrible idea. Well, Let It Die Inferno, there's a mostly negative here. They tried to double down, it seems. However, the art style and the fighting style looks fantastic. I did watch a little bit of the gameplay. However, if you want a private server, if you don't want to be invaded and you just want to go through the game on your own or with just friends in a, the psychedelic world of Deathland, you need to upgrade from the $25 regular version to the $45 deluxe edition. I don't know why I need to pay $20 extra just to make sure I can have fun in the way I would want to with your game. Now, the publisher is one of my favorite-ish mobile game publishers, Gung Ho, that makes Puzzles and Dragons. Now, they give a bunch of free shit in Puzzles and Dragons, so, why is it? Well, I'm not going to blame them. I'm not going to blame them for publishing this. I'm going to blame the devs on this one, because this is ridiculous. Aside from the deluxe edition eye gouging, there also apparently servers keep hiccuping and causing people to lose track of very strong characters that they worked hard for, which is not good. But I did call it. I did say there was going to be some price gouging, which
yeah, it's becoming the whole thing with the industry now.
There's been some announces. During our little break, the first 100% AI game has dropped, released, shipped, and then broke its code twice, and then got refunded immediately. Badoop. But speaking of games that have outlived longer than I thought they would, Anthem, the EA very strange game that dropped at a very strange time, doing very strange things to Xbox Ones. Their servers are closing down tomorrow, the 8th. But
I can't believe it still had servers, honestly.
I mean, after its debacle, so the debacle of which, when Anthem first dropped, and Xbox Ones, the digital version of Xbox Ones, mind you, were downloading these, it would immediately fry the hard drives because of how fast it would force the internal hard drive to try and read and write a specific line of a couple code and then go, I don't know what that is, fry it. And you would have to replace your entire...
There being something about it breaking consoles, I don't know for specific details on it, so yeah. That's wild.
Yeah, you would have to replace the internal hard drive. Or in some cases, it went to the point where you would have to replace the CPU. But they obviously patched that out a couple months after its release and sent out a few apologies. They had a few consoles that they handed out to those that had the console burnt out from this. So EA had a little bit of a damage kind of plan. I will say, for what it was worth, it was a fine game. It's just not what I wanted out of it. It wasn't Destiny, like Destiny is now. But they said, you guys have a month. We're going to be shutting down the servers for it. Someone decided to be like, hey, the servers are going to be shutting down next month. I'm going to try and get all the achievements. Well, they succeeded as of yesterday. They have grabbed all of the Xbox achievements, and now the servers are going to be going down. So if you have less than...
props.
Yeah, you've got less than 18-ish hours from the time of my voice speaking right now to hop on Anthem and hopefully do better. I think I got a couple achievements on there, but nothing worth it.
I never even touched it.
Fair. Dead by Daylight. They did a weird thing recently. They removed the Lich and the first round of Stranger Things very unexpectedly. And they were like, well, they're probably going to re-release it when the second part comes out. This was 3 months ago that they dropped those two off of the selling area. Well, the good news, they're bringing it back thanks to this official Chapter 2 with the last season of Stranger Things dropping. Did you watch the latest season of Stranger Things?
I haven't even watched the first season of Stranger Things.
Oh, okay. It gets goofy. It gets kind of goofy.
My mom said she was happy with it. She finished it. She was a big fan of the show, but yeah, I've never actually watched Stranger Things.
Okay. I will say it's
It's one of those on a long list of the shows that everyone loses their shit over that I haven't watched.
Mm.
Game of Thrones, that for the longest time,
on
Breaking Bad.
Fair enough.
Yeah, for the longest time, Breaking Bad was on there, but I eventually finished that one.
What about Better Call Saul? Is that on there?
It's on my list to eventually get to. I've done Breaking Bad and I've done the movie. I don't remember what it was called. The one that was on Netflix.
I also don't remember what that one's called.
El Camino or something like that.
Yeah. But even still, a very well put together trailer for the chapter 2 of Stranger Things and Dead by Daylight dropped. It's a little gory, a little very, as I said, very well put together to make it a horror thing. I really like the character models this time around, and of course Vecna pops back in, and I'm like, okay, we like our Vecnas. Okay, so cool. Go and have a little bit of fun. This dropped on the 27th of January for those who enjoy the Dead by Daylight things. Okay, so Fortnite has been pulling more and more IPs. I Show Speed, Pulp Fiction, what was the last one that it pulled that was like, whoa, Avatar, and it just keeps pulling and pulling. One that was not on my list because I was like, I don't think they're gonna do it because, you know, it's adult humor. South Park. I was like, there's no way. I am gonna eat my shorts kind of thing because South Park is coming to Fortnite on the 9th. Featuring Tally as a follower, asking you to always never forget to bring a towel. Each of the 4 major children and Butters, and a new item drops called the Stick of Truth that can one-shot your opponents. You know? And it's like Stocks says in chat, Fortnite is not a kid's game anymore. I guess. I actually really like the character models for the kids. There will be cheesy poofs as healing items. So they are bringing in a full collaboration, just like they did with The Simpsons, Cartman Land, which is the amusement park from like the 3rd season that he bought, that he bought for very inexpensive, and then realized that he has to let people in and hire security, and then he winds up running the most successful theme park. Very interesting. I think the guys that work at Epic Games are huge fucking nerds. But there has been other video game news that very sparing after the first of the year. But there's been more technological talks. So video games might be coming back a little bit in the next cast. Anything gaming from you, Q?
Not really. I'm hoping that I'll eventually get a handle on work and not be sick all the fucking time. And I can get some gaming done.
Yeah, especially to play the Star Wars Outlaws that is coming out soon.
Yeah, I wanted to get that originally, and then, you know, I wasn't able to, and it came out, and everyone was like, "Oh, it actually kind of sucks."
Yeah,
and I also don't really want to give Ubisoft money, anyways.
Yeah, I heard it was okay. It's a very walk aroundy type of game, and the combat is I don't want to say lackluster, but lacking. But
I just want to look at some pretty Star Wars stuff and shoot things.
I want what No Man's Sky should have started out as, but it's from what I've been told, it's pretty good now. I mean, it won 2 awards over the last couple of months after being out for 5.5 years. So I'll probably hop back into No Man's Sky later too. I digress. It's time for shoe news. So over the last couple of weeks, I've been pulling together all of the shoe news that I can compile, and these weird ones I kind of want you to look at. So I'm gonna take a nice drink of my Canada Dry Fruit Splash and let you indulge in what you see here, because I know you're a fan of dinosaurs.
I mean, it's a T-Rex. The box is very derpy.
The box is very derpy. I like the box.
I'm guessing based off of the way they're doing the feet at the bottom that the goal here is the sole is the teeth.
Yes.
Teethers.
Teefers. The chompers. I like the look of them, but I worry about them. So usually the Asics gel, that is full gel all around the shoe. So it is top and the insole is all gel to make sure your foot gets 100% comfort. That's great. However, those Gel Quantum 360s are roughly about $140 naturally. I don't know how much these T-Rex-ish shoes are going to be. There's no price tag, but we'll hear more about it on January 9th when they drop. I like them. I'm not gonna lie. I kind of like them. Badoop. I wasn't expecting Netflix to get into the shoe game, but Netflix and Converse came together to make a pretty okay looking black and red shoe. Me and Netflix kind of got this like very shaky relationship, I guess, considering they've dropped a lot of really good shows, but they've been raising their god dang prices.
Every streaming service is. I swear we go 2 months between a streaming service increasing their price.
Yeah,
and I don't even have all of them. I get annoyed.
the one that I can think of offhand that did it last was Disney with oh, I didn't notice. Thank you for the subscription. Oh my goodness.
Thank you.
I'm gonna pop up chat and move it over here so I can keep an eye on it. Hello everybody. But having a Netflix branded shoe, I don't think I would wear it. It's a nice idea for fans of Netflix, but Sock said it pretty good in chat. Looks like a theater kid's emo shoe. It does definitely give me 2006 vibes.
Yeah, no, it's definitely theater kid shoe.
But otherwise, it has the Netflix red branding on one side, the standard red smiley face that's a little off center. It's it's a fine shoe. I personally wouldn't wear it, but it's a Converse, so it's probably comfy. But over to the Quincy side of things, Adidas and Spider-Man, a pretty dang good looking shoe that I'm hoping you got eyes on probably soon. And
those are cool.
Yeah. I believe these ones are 130? No, 200 for these ones. They are limited edition. Do you think those are worth $200?
No, I would not spend $200 on them. I have shoes that are very Spider-Man-esque that I bought for $20. So
fair enough. It comes in two different styles: the Adi Zero Edge Plus baseball cleats and the regular ones. I forget what they're called, but I don't have that one here. But you can get them in the cleats or the regular. Both are $200. The Jurassic Park ones we talked about maybe 3 or so months ago are getting a revamp and another limited edition run. The last time these were talked about
we're just talking about shoes because right now the stream is a very small box in the top right corner while I watch a trailer for the new Ben Affleck Netflix movie.
It hurt us.
Yep.
Pretty good looking Jurassic Park one up top. The truck that has the nice little red streaks going through it and the green to yellow motif. And then the swoosh is kind of off kilter, like tilted. And then further down you have the what I like to call the Jurassic Park 2 colorway, where it's a little bit more of a darker brown into a black with the black streaks going through it. I like it. I believe these ones are 130. Yeah, 135 each for the pairs of shoes. I like them, and also the insoles are the dinosaur skeletons. Badoop.
Yeah, I do like the insoles. The insoles are pretty cool.
And last but not least, only a hint of something. Ja Morant and Nike are stirring up a Kool-Aid branded thing, but the only thing we get is an old image of Christmas gift wrapped in Kool-Aid wrap and pink lemonade. We have no pictures of the shoes right now, but I'm hoping to get if I know Ja Morant's shoes, they are loud, they are vibrant, they are nice looking. I'm very excited to see what's going to be coming out from this very soon. But that's all the shoe news that I've caught up on.
I can't remember the last time I had Kool-Aid.
It's I remember having someone handed me one of those juicers, the ones that you twist the top off of and you just squeeze.
Yeah.
I remember having one of those not too long ago, like maybe a year ago.
Remember the original versions of those? It was a different company. They all were like different faces.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember, like, and then my mind immediately went, "Oh no, wait! You also had Otter Pops. You like Otter Pops? Go with Otter Pops." No, it's not Otter
I mean,
Pops.
Otter Pops.
I love Otter Pops. Louis Blueberry. Um, I don't remember what those
Like,
are called, but I do
was it
recall
Otter
them.
Pop that had the pina colada one, or was that the off-brand ones that had the pina colada one? Whichever one it was,
Off,
I didn't like. I'm not big on coconut.
yeah, I think that was an off-brand one
Okay.
because it was Louis Blueberry, Louis Sue Orange, Strawberry Kook, um, Alex the Grape. Oh, there's like 6 flavors and I don't remember all their names, but I have them over in my freezer. I'll fucking learn them later. Oh, badoop. Over at Dave's Hot Chicken, another Fallout collaboration, which features a stim pack that you inject with ranch that you can inject your chicken or your fries. And I'm like, this is a neat little a collaboration that has a funny little gimmick. Uh, Good news, the plastic is food safe, so even if it does get a little bit of hot sauce and it melts off a little bit of the plastic, good news, it won't kill you. But otherwise, a neat little collab. From here until we get to toys, CES, which is a computer electronic servicing type of expo, has been definitely lighting up our sky. There has been drones flying overhead, helicopters flying back and forth, just a whole lot of dynamic things happening down on the strip, including dancing robots that are breakdancing for money. However, there are cool companies that announce their stuff at the convention and are saying, oh, hey, this stuff's on pre-order if you want to purchase it, such as Corsair and Elgato come together to make the Galleon 100 SD. For those who want to get a Stream Deck and kind of want to have a keyboard that is both versatile and very form-functioning, this is a very good one. But how much do you think this collaboration is? Marco?
Muted from a coughing fit. I didn't realize I was
Oh.
still muted. $350.
Damn fine guess, because you're correct.
Really? I'm like
Yeah.
spot on.
Spot on. $349.99.
Nice.
It is very well enqueued. It has MLX pulse linear switches that allow for hot swapping. It has a full alloyed chassis, so that way it doesn't have what do they call it? Spring back, and you can actually let keys sink in. It's got fully customizable LEDs per key, so each key has their own light behind it. And of course, the Stream Deck on the right side has 2 adjustable knobs that are analog, a touchscreen panel that's roughly 6, I believe it's 6 inches in dynamic, and then 12 customizable keys right below it that are very reminiscent of the Stream Deck. I really like the look of it, but the $350 price tag is very it is very painful to look at. It supports the Elgato Marketplace, so you can have keys that bind onto these, such as for Star Citizen, Expedition 33 is on beta, Cyberpunk, you can use it to call your in-game buddies, etc., etc. And I'm like,
That is
okay,
kinda cool.
it's already starting to get.
I don't know that I would do this, but that's kind of cool.
Yeah, definitely not for 350. If it was 200, I'd be like, that's cool. Still not gonna buy it, but that's a better price for this, considering. But it is a sound dampener. They got that nice little, I believe they call them creamy keys, so that way it doesn't make the loud clicky clickies. Each per key has its own LED light, so this has the money built into it, and also each one is handmade. After the pieces are shipped off, each key is placed in line by a person, not a robot. So, it gets.
I thought you were the robot.
I'm trying not to, but it has very good adaptability, a lot better than the Stream Deck. I appreciate the technology and care. Badoop. Hey, speaking of Corsair, they also announced the Saber V2 Pro wireless mouse. It has the magnesium alloy shell. It's 56 grams, so it's a little bit weighted. 8K hertz hyperpolling, which means you even tap it a little bit to the right, you will watch how little you tapped it to the right. It is 1-for-1 movement. Up to 120 hours battery life per charge. Customizable via the Corsair Web Hub to have very interesting motioneering and click variables. And it comes with, very interestingly, grip tape and replacement skates to make sure that you get the perfect edge for whatever game you're playing. How much do you think this is?
170.
150. Now, this one I can see where the money is placed into, but at the same time, it's also, once again, don't want to spend the $150 for a mouse. I'm happy with my Logitech fucking G502 Hero that I got for $30. It's great. It's competitive. I got my polling rate that I want. I don't need all that. Plus 33K DPI. No, but I'm not even using above 2400 DPI. Who needs 33K DPI? And also replacement mouse skates, that kind of worries me because why do I need replacement mouse skates? I will leave it at that. It is, as I said, the money's in there, but only for, I guess, the really true gaming enthusiast. Badoop. I forget the company, and I did not pull up the name of that company, but they did a little tech demo inside of a small apartment where it was cleaning the apartment. It can put things in baskets, it can move shoes to a shoe tree, move chairs back into their position, tell the, if it is Wi-Fi enabled, it'll tell the Roomba to go ahead and vacuum, everything's off the floor. And even set the path for the Roomba if it's one of the smart Roombas. I don't know if I want a robot knowing that much about me, but it is neat to know that we're slowly getting into the AI being moderately okay, and I'll clear that up in a little bit. But AI, for creative purposes, bad. For technological purposes, somewhat okay. The LG Cloyd, a AI-built robot that will help you talk to your children, fold your laundry, move your laundry.
Why do you need a robot to help you talk to your children?
Well, let's say you're busy on a phone conference, and you're a work from home type of individual. It's I don't know.
I mean, that's a very specific thing for a very specific amount of time.
Okay, well,
it's not like this robot's giving the kid Heimlich,
True, but okay, fine then. Fine, forget talking to your kid. It can fold laundry. It can move laundry from the washer to the dryer, or a set hamper to the washer, so on and so forth. It can do small tasks. It can move things from the stove to a safe area. It's learning. Their nickname is Cece to match the eyes that it has, but otherwise on the CES floor, it folded 12 washcloths in about a half of an hour. So don't expect quick work. Expect fine work, I guess. I don't know. It looks like it's doing an okay job here, but I can't really gauge it. But I'm happy that Elegy is pushing robotics because that was mostly what they were doing. And as Sock said, it is useful for the elderly. There was a bunch of talks about needing companionship in elderly homes, and they would bring the food on trays to elderly folk and have a brief conversation with them before being like, okay, I have to head out now, and they would leave the elderly folks. So this could also be a good hint for helping out elderly that are still wanting to be
Okay.
self-sustaining.
I can get behind the elderly thing to an extent. I can't fold worth shit. I can fold better than this robot.
Mind you, this is I believe the second draft of CC, so
Did
there's
you see
still
the
early.
guy that had the robot that was he had all the sensors on so that it was what's the word? Mimicking his moves. And he kicked himself in the nuts with it.
Oh, okay. No, I didn't, but I
Yeah,
can
he was
definitely see
doing a
that.
bunch of like martial arts types moves, and then he moved to the side and like threw a kick up, and so the robot moved to the side, threw a kick up, and kicked him right in the groin.
Okay. I can definitely see robots having still an issue with the three laws of basic robotics.
Robotics.
Now, those
Dream,
laws,
dream of electric sheep.
I mean, one can hope because I would definitely be putting one to sleep permanently if I had one coming at me with a knife. So hopefully we are.
You ever seen those Tesla bots? Those things are terrifying looking.
Oh boy, I'll be talking about one in a minute. Not the Tesla ones, thankfully. Badoop. All right, time to get really weird and engineering-ish. Do you know what Wi-Fi is from your router right now?
5
That is
gigabytes or
correct.
whatever. So
No,
yeah,
it is. It is Wi-Fi 5. So we are now in the age of Wi-Fi 8. As soon as Wi-Fi 8 begins to slowly dole itself out, mind you, the routers for them a little bit pricey. ROG pulled out one of their gaming ones. It's very nice looking. $480 for the early one, and then $600 for the one that can reach 1.5 miles in radius. Now that's quite a long fucking place. So if you have, let's say, a place out in the country and you have like a farm and you're listening to music, 1.5 miles can cover a good acre and some change while you're doing your farm work, so you can listen to your music or what have you. As chat says, good for farm area. But what purpose does that need in city? I don't know. That one's a little iffy. But
we're just gonna supply Wi-Fi to all the neighbors. That's what it is. We're all
it's
just gonna
mine.
start sharing Wi-Fi because it costs too much to have internet.
That I guess. But
The funny thing is, you're talking about this, and you're like, I don't know about this. I literally can't get good Wi-Fi in my fucking bedroom.
well,
I don't know what it is. If you get past my doorway, the Wi-Fi signal just fucking drops off.
Okay, chat says less extenders for businesses. I guess, but at the same time, I would prefer to have a better built infrastructure plus everything hardwired and not off of Wi-Fi grid. That's just me personally, but I get it. I understand it. Better VR. I have a very inexpensive fucking MetaQuest 3. If I had a Wi-Fi 8 and attached it to my computer, good news, if I wanted to be wireless from it, I could do a lot better with a Wi-Fi 8 because it would have a much more stable connection to the computer. It would send and receive way quicker than what the modem can do right now. Further down, it talks about their AI-driven workloads. It's talking about how upstarts are going to be doing a little bit more push-pull. They're saying how ROG is trying to not be too inclusive on building for AI, but sadly, people who are buying the RAM, people who are buying the GPUs, this is going to be an inevitability, but they're wanting to work more with robotics, which made me go, perfect. That's all I wanted to hear, was that they were working more toward robotics and engineering rather than the creative side. So I held my hands up and I said, keep doing what you're doing, ROG. I just hope that this doesn't go fucky in the near future. That being said, one of the few things that had bubbled out was talks of the industrial automation, where it wants to make sure you can have an entire factory built off of one Wi-Fi signal. And being able to take one server and it just knows what everything is happening in your entire factory, from any malfunctions to if a machine is just not working up to snuff, if it needs a little bit of this, that, the other. They're wanting to make sure automated guided vehicles also are good for advanced robotic collaboration, which means the Zoox one that I'm going to be talking about in a minute, they're going to be aiming for their technologies, the Wi-Fi 8s, to be pushing toward those. They're going to be trying to probably build Wi-Fi 8 towers all over the place, or Wi-Fi 8 routers in the earth, because apparently it can also reach in the earth to give signals. So this is another one where I'm just like, I don't know if I want this yet. It sounds cool. I like it, but I don't know how to feel about it. Not yet, anyways. That being said, ROG...
I just don't like AI.
I'm not a big fan of AI in certain aspects. Creative is a huge no. If you're using AI for creative purposes, get out of my house. I don't want to talk to you. If you're using AI for engineering and or building purposes, fine. That means that you're using AI appropriately, because an AI is learning how to build a building from people who build buildings. There's not really a marginal error for that. However, I'll skip ahead to it. Let me go find it real quick. Where's the car? Where's the car? Where is the car?
Probably in the garage, buddy.
No, the car that made me go, do you like Speed Racer? Do you want to jump your car like Speed Racer? So,
yeah.
BYD, a Chinese company, has their first hybrid supercar, the Yangwang U9. It can see up in front of itself 20 meters and jump 6 meters over any major problems such as potholes or traps. It has done 2 sets of spike strips set 6 meters apart and jumped them perfectly. It has done caltrops, I believe, is also in this demo. Caltrops, little spikies.
You know that some YouTuber's going to buy this and try to jump his friend and kill him.
Well, very funnily enough, someone who actually does jackass-style stunts with cars, like, he's almost died 6 times in the last year and a half from doing dumb stunts with cars.
Oh, is that all?
He's very resilient. He commented on this car and says, can I get it to jump higher? So take that as you will.
See, I called it.
Can it jump over traffic, or that leaves it up? Yeah, I see it. I'm getting the bot.
Yeah, no, I'm with Chad on this. You know, I don't need one that jumps. I just need the Go-Go Gadget wheels on the Gadget Mobile.
The original purpose of this smart driving car, it does do smart driving, just very similar to how Tesla does it. It can jump over a pothole. I think that's its original build, but we don't necessarily have...
That's great, until it jumped over a pothole into the ass of the car in front of me.
That is another... Well, I mean, hopefully you're not going that fast to try and do both of those, but...
It's trying to jump shit. It needs to go a decent speed.
And win 120 kilos so about 70 miles an hour to jump a 6 meter gap.
See the Go-Go Gadget wheels or the Benny the Cab the taxi cab wheels, step over traffic, step over
Yeah.
potholes. I don't need to be jumping shit.
Yeah. Let me see if I can find where. Let me go back over here, close out of this. I'm just going to quickly zoom through all these to try and find the thing I was trying to find. Here we go. The Zooks. I've seen many of these on my way to work, on my way home from work. I have always seen at least one Zooks, Z-O-O-X, robo-taxi drive by me learning the roads. I will say...
One got stuck in traffic the other day in our town.
One got stuck in traffic, but that's one out of the 250 that are on the roads right now as we are speaking.
I mean, a Waymo killed a cat named Kit Kat in San Francisco.
And to be fair, Waymo's done by someone who doesn't quite understand traffic laws, so take that.
Yeah, they also can't get the Waymos to stop running school bus stop signs in Texas. I think it was Texas.
Yeah, and meanwhile, Zooks abides by most of the laws that I've seen. They mostly stick to the actual streets, not taking any side detours. They do not do residential areas, so you will be dropped off a block away from your home instead of at your home.
No, that's great if you're drunk.
That was another feature. They offer a hangover mode. Where if you are a little inebriated, you can buckle yourself in a laying down position, and all the lights are dimmed, and the smooth ride, considering it's an electrical vehicle, it's got no noise. You are just taken home. Well, mostly home.
How much do they charge you if you blow chunks in their taxi?
I don't know, and I don't want to know.
$600 charge if you blow chunks in an Uber.
Well, true, but if you have a CES press badge, good news, you get to ride for free from your hotel into the CES grounds, or vice versa, going back home. I really do like its ingenuity. I do like how it looks. It does look like a very comfortable ride. It has 4 little tablets on each of the major mounts, so that way you can control the lights, you can control the music that's inside of it, the temperature control, and you can even black out the windows from seeing out, so that way you can just enjoy the vibes on the inside of the vehicle. I like it. I like it, but I want it to be safe. I want it to be a good design. I don't want it to, run over cats. That's terrible. I don't want that. But I would like to try it at least once. Now let me rewind back over here. So Quincy and I talked about this before cast, and I have the same, I guess, complaint. Why do we need flatter TVs? I like the design of it, and I love the color contrast. But
you already can't get a lot of older living rooms to look right with modern TVs. If we keep making TVs even flatter like this, it just keeps getting weirder. Like, I've got to mount this thing somehow.
Well, good news, it has magnetic mounts, very similar to something I'm trying to get a sponsorship from, the Disboard, or Displate, that's what it's called. But it's as thin as a smartphone. It is 3.9 times brighter than a regular OLED. It is anti-glare, so if you have the sun coming directly onto it, it is not rippled on that screen at all. They ran Cyberpunk 2077 on it, and the color contrast on it was spectacular. I will say it did look good, and it begs to, quote-unquote, always be on, because it has this very interesting power-saving mode when it's still on. So even while it's doing a slideshow, it's using less power than off. At least that's what they're saying.
I don't need my room always lit up by this thing, too. So, again, this would only work in your living room, because I don't need to see doing a slideshow while I'm trying to sleep.
True.
I mean, yes, I tend to sleep with my TV on, but eventually it turns off.
Yeah. Now, the 77-inch and 83-inch sizes are a little non-negotiable, but at least it's a little bit below 30,000, at least for the 77-inch. The 83-inch is $31,000, and the 77-inch one is about $26,000. I don't think so. I appreciate it, but I don't think so. Something that I just grabbed randomly while going down the CES 2026 hashtag on Twitter. A mug with LED and touch sensor and a heating plate. Now I don't know why it needs to have a connecty bit that you can.
It's not about having the
off.
dark. It's about being a kid in the night. Sorry, I'm responding to the chat. It's about being a kid in the '90s and just always having my TV on. It's the sound.
Yeah.
It's actually I sleep better in a dark room, but the sound is nice. If I could find a white noise that didn't annoy me, that's probably what I would do.
What about like rain?
I've done rain, and those are nice. I do like rain to an extent, but a lot of the rain sounds get very repetitive, and I tend to notice that. Radio, maybe if I could get like a decent talk show, maybe. So maybe a podcast or something.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like, I feel like music would keep me going a little too much.
You'd be grooving.
Mostly right now, I'm just doing reruns of The Simpsons.
Yeah, I've been doing a lot of reruns of my shows, and I just kind of lay there and I listen and I laugh along, and then I fall asleep naturally. But having a mug that heats up, that's obviously good. But what do you think of the LED screen that's on it?
So we already have a lot of the these temperature control mugs, and I've used them. They're not bad. I've used an Ember, and I've used like knockoff versions and whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
But the LED screen just feels useless. Like, why do I need this? It's like one of those things. Like, not everything needs a screen on it. It's the Samsung refrigerator thing.
Oh yeah, where you have to talk to it to get it to open up. Or no, is that the Samsung one? There's a new one that you have to talk to it to get it to open up. It also is making another debut at CES, but I'll talk about that one next week. Badoop. The Legion, or no, yeah, the Lenovo Legion stretch screen stretches from a 16-inch laptop to a 24-inch panoramic, and they're saying that the next one will curve, which kind of got me a little, like pull the collar.
I'm not big on the curved screen thing. These stretch screens are pretty cool. Like, they look really satisfying.
Yeah, I'm happy we're now in an age of stretch LED. Foldable phones still are a little bit hit or miss. I watched Jerry Rig break down the trifold, and he was getting kind of annoyed at how the joints weren't as good as the regular fold, the current fold, I guess. And yeah, he wasn't having any of it, and he broke it almost instantaneously. So take that as you will, but
Dad had one of those giant curved TVs, and it just didn't do anything for me.
I like the thought of a curved monitor, but I would still, I don't know. I feel like I would need to get closer to get the full benefit of it, and my eyes are already bad, so I don't want to burn them out on pixels and radiation and all that. But even still, Lenovo has a few other things. They're talking about having Intel have their Intel branded graphics cards in their new desktops. I'll have more information about that next week as well. The Intel Arc graphics cards are very comparable to today's RTX and the AMD style cards that are slowly going up in cost. But with Intel, they're saying that costs might go down a little bit in the coming future. That being said, NVIDIA has also announced that their 30 series graphics cards, mind you, we're in the 50s right now, that their 30 series cards are going to be making a return to production and getting updates for the foreseeable future, up to 5 years and beyond, because of the graphic card spike that's been going around. I don't like AI when it screws over the consumer. Like, that's where I have a problem. I'm looking at you, Microsoft. Badoop. This fully autonomous valet has parked 100 cars down on the strip, and it's smaller than the car. I worry about these types of things. Like, it can lift a almost 2-ton vehicle and perfectly park them with ease. I don't know what hotel casino was asked to be approached by this.
It's kind of a cool concept because you'd definitely be able to park them a lot closer because these things like just slide up underneath it.
Mm-hmm.
So like you can really maximize your parking space. Like this one's actually kind of interesting. I feel like it should still have like, and I hope it does have like some level of
Good ingenuity
of human control in case of an error or a disconnect. Like you don't want this thing disconnecting from the Wi-Fi like halfway through moving a car. It just sits there. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and causes either a pileup or, in worst case, causes the cars to hit one another. But
yeah,
I'm very interested to hear more. But apparently, no problems, so it gets a pass by me. There is another valet project that did not make it to CES that was going to try and park everything at the Venetian. But as said, they couldn't get all of their robotics out, and so Venetian was like, yeah, you have to park your own car or work with our regular valet. Okay, bye. Badoop. HP, a name that's kind of been lost for a little bit, now comes back with the Elite Board, a keyboard that also has all of the bits and bobs of a PC. All you have to do is plug in a monitor and it runs a Windows 11 based computer. I like this idea. I'm now in the idea of mini PCs being very versatile and very nice. It's got
well, we saw Raspberry Pi do one of these a while back.
right, but not as powerful as what you're seeing here. I would say this is probably 50 times stronger than a Raspberry Pi.
I'd like to see the specs actually next to each other to see.
That's
You know
fair.
what I
That's
mean?
fair. That's fair. But it does have an internalized SSD, so that means faster read write, and I believe it's 1 TB, so it's definitely got more than what can be placed on a regular Raspberry Pi without an external solid state drive or thumb drive. I'm interested to hear more. No price tag yet on it, but I would like to see the full specs of it. It does have speakers and a microphone inbuilt on the keyboard, so you don't have to take that with you if you're wanting to do a conference call. So it's also for those who don't want to take a full laptop and can just take this with them. It also comes with a very snazzy looking satin carrying case, but I don't know, having no monitor is a bit rough. I digress. Badoop. Time to get to the fun stuff.
I mean, but one last thing on the no monitor. I mean, depending on what it needs to plug into a monitor, if you can just do an HDMI plug-in, you turn almost any screen into a monitor. Then
Yeah, it does. It comes with a USB-C to HDMI out. So it's it's pretty good. That'll do. Time to get to the fun stuff. Lego Star Wars Smart Play Smart Brick made a very interesting debut by saying this is prototype, this is early, but they have a X-Wing and a TIE Interceptor with fully light up intervals, very reminiscent of the Mario Lego set that was dropped earlier a couple of years back, where it has a 2x4 Lego brick that runs everything. And then you put the back or the legs of a minifigure that has a small microchip in it up against that mini brick, and it lights up the entirety of the craft. The entire craft glows and makes the noises that you're expecting to hear. And then there are specialized buttons that are on the craft itself that interact with the 2x4 Lego battery, I guess I'll call it, and then it does what you're asking it to do. And then when you're actually moving the craft, it makes the noises. I said, "Oh boy, I don't want new Legos. That's going to be very expensive, I'm betting." No, they're saying that this stuff's going to be pretty affordable considering. They're saying that these two Lego sets are going to be a part of one big set at $120. And I said, that's actually not too terrible. But this
I mean,
is
for
early.
Legos, it's not bad.
Yeah, especially with all of the bits and bobs. Um, there are also some other sets that were on display that were not power, but had the Star Wars theming to it. The fight on Hoth and the jungle fight that is on Endor. Where do they fight the Ewoks?
They fight with the Ewoks on the forest moon of Endor.
Okay. Okay. That's what I was thinking of then. Okay. But even still, a whole lot was talked about, and I'm very curious to see what I believe earlier today they had their conference. So I'll have more about that next week. Doop. Oh, I already talked about that. Boop. Newegg had a bunch of commentary about certain things, and one thing that caught my eye was the MSI MEG-X 34-inch OLED True AI gaming monitor.
Again with the AI. Oh, this is the one you were telling me about before.
Yes. Now, it is a bit odd. It is fucking crystal clear. It is beautiful. It is 4K, which obviously gets the immediate pass. However, when you're switching between bits and bobs on your regular desktop, it interacts with it. It talks to it. It has very interesting luminescence. So if you're going to a pure bright white, like let's say Google, let's say you go to a light mode Google web page where it's all fucking white except for the middle, that's the thing. Good news. You're not going to be immediately blinded. It's not going to fill your entire room with this bright white light. You'll know what is in front of you is white, but it will not have that blinding flashbang to the face. It will
That really
detect.
only bothers me when I'm like watching a movie in a theater and we have like a really dark scene and then they cut to a bright white scene.
Yeah.
It was rough. There's the scene in Spider-Man: Homecoming where Peter's talking to Tony, and it's like Peter's like, it's not like a dark scene, but it's like not a bright scene, and then it cuts to Tony, and he's like walking through some desert town. I can't remember where it was, in a white suit to a white car, and it just fucking fries your retinas.
Yeah. And if you were to watch it on this, it would detect that there's not a lot of dark spots in your room, or like it's not as bright. It'll dumb it down a little bit and be like, these are white. You can tell they're white. You can see they're white, but they don't illuminate. And I really like that. However, it also has some extra features for video games, such as an AI tracker, AI goggles, which they said they were going to talk about tomorrow during their conference, and AI gauge, which is a little LED strip at the bottom. So let's say I'm playing Doom, the Dark Age, and I'm running around doing my thing, and I'm getting hit. It'll show me my life bar down at the bottom, where it's a little more at a glance rather than up at the top left, where I have to kind of stop what I'm doing to take a look at. I kind of like it, but I don't know. I'm a little up in the air with the idea that AI is learning about my video gaming.
I
However,
mean, it's weird that it's looking into my room, but
do you
I
want
also have other cameras in my room too, so there's that.
that's true. Do you want to know what Sony's doing?
Butchering another Spider-Man film.
Aside from that, they
What?
are releasing in the near future an AI assistant that will help you if you're having a hard time playing a video game. If you're in the middle of
I
a
don't need
boss.
that.
Yeah, it's only for Sony branded games like Horizon Zero Dawn. And I said, I believe I made a comment on Twitter somewhere that literally said, the Demon Souls guys are really literally rolling around in their undead graves because Demon Souls is a fucking Sony exclusive.
Where's the AI that is going to help the old lady when she's falling and she can't get up?
Well, that's coming up soon. That there is one of those coming up soon.
Okay.
But AI can help in bits and bobs. In this way, sure, fine. I'm not going to pay for it because I believe the price tag was astronomical. I do not have that in front of me.
How many more of the CES things do we have that are AI? I'm just curious because I know that it was a huge thing. This year.
Let me do my hover real quick. No, one,
Okay.
two.
I was just curious. I know it was. Oh, you're counting. I thought you were saying
Yeah.
one.
Two. I have two more things that are AI assisted.
I was just curious because I knew it was like a big thing at CES this year.
Sock says in chat, can we use the flat parking thingy to help the old lady off the floor? I mean, we could.
I think
It
that just moves
does.
her around on the floor.
I mean, it'll get her to where she want to go, right?
Zooming her around like a human Roomba.
Why not? Let's get to the weird side. So there were some weird bits and bobs that'll be next week. However, the weird one that I want to talk about right now is a full PC that can also cook up to 12 full-size pretzels. It was out on the floor serving up pretzel bites in its Be Quiet, that's the name of the brand, pretzel cooking PC that can
That's
play.
ingenuity.
That is ingenuity. That's great. You can cook some pretzels while also playing Cyberpunk 2077 on ultra graphics. And the heat from the graphics card helps heat up the the pretzels, which is kind of funny. You know, I kind of like it. It's a good idea. I don't know how much it is. It's still kind of up in the air, I believe, for price tag. But to have a pretzel heater and PC with some LEDs and some other bits and bobs in there. I believe it's running a AMD 9800 X3D, so it is top of the line. And I believe down at the bottom is the power supply and an RTX 5080. I believe it's a 5080 at the bottom, but even still, a what I probably call a $2,300 PC plus all the custom bits and bobs. So no, I'll call it right now, probably $4,000 for this custom built PC, the Pretzel PC. Okay, so this is where AI is helping people. KAIST, that is how it is spelt and the way it is pronounced. KAIST, not Keist, it is KAIST. It walks to you, fits itself to a person, whether paraplegic, cerebral palsy, or unable to walk due to injury.
As I say, this is the kind of technology I've been looking for.
Okay. So it is a Chinese exolab that helps basically wrap around individuals. And so far, I've watched a different video that had a quadriplegic that had the promise of never walking again say, I feel like I could walk. I feel like I can learn to walk again. This video here has an individual being pulled up out of a wheelchair, and he throws down his crutches and just continues to walk. I appreciate this.
It kind of reminds me. It kind of reminds me of that robot from RoboCop.
Yeah,
You know what I'm talking about?
The one that falls down the stairs.
I agree with you, chat. They said great idea, especially for wounded warriors. This could definitely help a lot of veterans.
This could definitely help out a lot of vets. The only downside though is the production cost. That's the only downside so far. They're saying it costs around 1,500 USD just to get the parts. As far as building and programming, that costs a little bit more. Cost is still up in the air because they're still in prototyping. This is the KAIST F1 Parabellum? I forget what they called it, but it is an exosuit that they soon want to have ones that can also help out with spine realignment over the course of time. They also had a promise for full body exosuits, and I'm like, then we're starting to get into the alien territory where you got that full exosuit where you can do mining, like blast mining with these weird suits. I'm okay with the advancements, just long as this comes first. Badoop. All right. Time to get into the weird side of it. We already know there's a lot of technological...
The weird side of it. I mean, we had a CES like 3 years ago that was like mostly sex toys. Is like that weird side of CES?
No, that's going to be next week. As for right now, it's no question that there are military grants given to those wanting to help our military personnel advance their technologies. It's also no wavering guess that we really, really like our night missions and doing things in the dead of night. Well, Vuzix, VUZIX, is working on lightweight OEM, ultralight platforms, both in the aerospace, the tactical head mounting for regular military, and just regular outdoor wear for those who have hard time seeing in the dead of night. The custom waveguides are very expensive, but they are worth the production cost. Apparently, they are roughly $1,100 for the commercial pair. As far as the military grade ones, those ones are, I have no idea on the price, but they, from what we can figure, are roughly $3,000. I like the idea of being able to see at night just with a pair of glasses, but I don't know if I want to spend $1,100 to do that. I'm
not doing that.
But even still, they will
There's
be talking...
a lot of advancements they've made with light absorption and getting rid of that flare that those of us with stigmatisms get and whatnot for night driving and things like that. I don't need to spend this kind of price to be able to see better at night. Not saying it's not cool, not saying it's not, like, for some people. There's no way in hell I'm spending this kind of money, though.
That is true. The other bit and bob about it is that it also has a mini computer alongside it. So I don't know if that has anything to do with it. But apparently with the military grade ones, it has like an onboard TAC map. So it allows you to basically call out a lot more accurately. So if you're heading 3 clicks west, well, you can now call degrees in angle. So
hunters could probably use this a lot.
Yeah, hunters, yeah. This definitely has its purposes. Tomorrow these guys are going to be having their actual conference where I'll be able to see what you might actually see through these. So next week I'll have a little bit more, hopefully. When I saw this little design of it, I immediately kind of did like a head tilt and went, "Are we getting Scouters from DBZ?" Which probably in the near future we're gonna get weird space Scouters from Dragon Ball Z, but I digress.
That's what you're talking about. I was confused for a second. I was like, what are we talking about?
Oh,
I
yeah.
realized what you meant. It's over 9,000.
It is definitely over 9,000. And last thing that I'm going to mention from CES, there is too much to talk about, so I'm just going to briefly just kind of scroll down the CES tag.
I suggest people... Wired normally does a good one. CNET does... CNET does a good one. Yeah, they do some good comprehensive covers on all the things we're not talking about here. Definitely go and check out. There's some wild shit. I'd love to go one of these years.
I would love to go also, but sadly it's press exhibitors only. So I mean, hopefully, if you guys want to support us, go ahead and subscribe a whole bunch of things, and maybe next year January.
You have to apply for pass. That's not how that works.
I know. I mean, we still need to get the following because Linus is there now, and I'm like, fuck, I would love to work for Linus.
That's a fair point.
But there's
I was gonna say, so these were the last things you were showing from CES. I was trying to get back on track from taking
That's
this off.
fine.
Sorry.
Samsung and other music-inclined companies were popping out some new speakers. Single speakers that sound like it can fill an entire room or auditorium just from a small little orb. Ferrofluid filled up these really interesting ones from TKS. And I really want to get one of these. These look really cool. I don't have any price tags on them because, as I said, I'm just scrolling down. This is the last minute stuff. Verge Motorcycles.
You can't convince me that that's not the symbiote from Spider-Man.
I mean, you want to crack it open and find out?
Probably not.
Fair enough.
Watch it out.
Verge motorcycles are powered by something that is revolutionary in our engineering time called solid-state batteries. It charges in 10 minutes and lasts for 3.5 hours. And this is just the first iteration of solid-state batteries. So take that as you will. But having a motorcycle charge in 10 minutes, that's already, we're hitting some very good stuff.
Remind me to send you the TikTok later that I saw of the college students that just built the completely fix-it-yourself car.
I like that idea. Yeah, send me that.
You can hot swap batteries.
Plus another one to follow is Interesting Engineering. They're at CES also, and they're doing a lot of good coverage points. They're doing a lot of the weird things that you don't hear about. So go and check out that one also if you're on Twitter. Oh, also, Sean Astin is there being a super fucking hyper nerd. And he also talks about AI tech and how he's not happy, but he understands there's a need for bits and bobs.
I was telling you off of pod, he's the new president for the Screen Actors Guild. So he's definitely got to be involved in that kind of stuff and see what it's like and whatnot.
Yeah. There's small, low power computers that are AI chips that can help out with small electronics building and otherwise, in case you want to be an enthusiast of your own. There is a vehicle that spits out a drone in case you're trying to do hiking and trying to plot the perfect course, while also getting some pretty good footage. I believe Hyundai is the one backing this project. Wi-Fi 8, I'll talk more about that next week when I get the ROG or AC. Yeah, there's the ROG modem that looks like a fucking D20. The GameSir, I have one of their inexpensive $30 controllers that I actually really fell in love with, that I love a lot better than the Xbox controller. But they were having an F1 driver mess around with this very interesting looking controller that has like a little steering wheel in the middle of it. And he says this is probably the closest it's been to actually being an F1 driver with a controller. And I said, I mean, there's like Logitech driving wheels, but I don't know, man. And then you go further down and it talks about the handheld stuff. The very cute Yukai Engineering. We talked about this one last year. The Marumi will now be released in April.
There's so much.
Yeah, there is. I could be scrolling this for years. There's even a digital record player that.
You also probably shouldn't be scrolling Twitter on a live stream.
Don't worry, it's only CES 2026 stuff. I've already vetted it.
That doesn't mean that people can't put that tag on other things.
I vetted this. I don't worry, I vetted up until a little bit further down.
I'm just thinking about the Pringles guy again.
It's fair. That's fair. But a fully digital quote unquote record player that has a nice little motif to records, but I do like how it looks and how it dumps off the record by having all these little tiny orbs fall off of its nice 2K monitor, and then it puts down a quote-unquote another record to play. Further down, it talks about the Lenovo Legion, the one that stretches out to the 24-inch. More people had their hands on it. Linus is further down, I believe. Yeah, further down from here, Linus is there talking about some other things. And there is a lot. And tomorrow, there's going to be even more conferences. A lot of technology, a lot of startups, a lot of AI, sadly, but in good places, hopefully. Badoop.
Yeah,
Over.
They should have debuted that thing with the Herbie colors.
They should have. That looked pretty good. It looked like a good
Probably
Netherlands car.
Disney would probably sue them into the ground.
I would have asked Disney to use the design, make a good collaboration. Over at Sideshow.com, a pretty dang good figure company. Izuku Midoriya, the Dark Deku version from the last couple of seasons of My Hero Academia, a fantastic looking figure. I really do enjoy the last couple of seasons. They've definitely done some really good work. It's a full form function one where he's doing his Dark Flash. I forgot what the heck he named it, but I do like that it has him without the mask and with the mask. $270, and it's set to ship in February to April of this year. But
Nice detail.
Heading over to the hyper nerd side, the Critical Role side, Fresh Cut Grass, or FCG, a little tiny robot that cares about their friends, has a figure on Sideshow, and I gotta say, it looks pretty dang good for the character. $205 ships out September 2026 to December of 2026, and it features a couple of added features, it says, Easter eggs. And last from official Sideshow, a Spider-Man battle damaged version that you can see Tobey Maguire's fully articulated face on this thing. I gotta say, this is probably one of the more stellar figures I have seen from Sideshow. $325, and it drops January of next year to June of next year. The battle damaged also comes with the goblin mask that fits into his hand. The non-battle damaged mask, in case you don't want to, have that.
Godspeed, Spider-Man.
Godspeed, Spider-Man. But I like this figure a lot. But however, going over to the DC side of things, a really nice Batman Arkham Origins figure. Holy cow. It says it's up for pre-order on Sideshow for $300. There are no official images through Sideshow right now, where I'm like, what the fuck? Preternia got fucking images before they did.
Well, Preternia also, this is what they do, so.
That is true. This figure looks great. Comes with a whole bunch of utilities for the utility belt. You get that really good lighting on a particular facet on the top of their head, like off to the right. You get that fucking delicate shadow.
Because you're getting all these different options for things. I like that they've got the one with the electrocutioner's gloves going on, where you've actually got the coming off of them.
Yeah. And if you put an LED light, the LED lights on the paint on them and have them glow under a black light, I would like to see this figure really decked out with some extra, very small details. But even still, it's a fantastic one. $300. It definitely is worth that price tag, I would say, just because it looks like it had a lot of hard work placed into it. And the cape actually flows.
These ads on Twitch are getting weirder and weirder. I just had one just now that I can't tell. Okay, it just ended. It was an ad for the U.S. Army, but half of it for UPS.
Oh.
I couldn't figure out what it was at first. I was like, what is this an ad?
Okay. I mean, I can see the Army part, but then when you said UPS, I'm like, where do they tie in?
He was standing in the rain in the boys in brown uniform with packages.
Huh.
And now I'm getting an anti-vaping ad where a woman's drowning in vapes. Literally. And now at 28 years later, the Bone Temple ad.
Okay, that one's to be expected. That they're trying to promote that movie like hell, which is fine. Any other things you got?
I think that's everything. CES was the big thing for this week, and it's probably going to be the big thing for next week.
That's
We're back to regular stuff after that.
Oh my god. Tomorrow I'm gonna pull out my pen and pad and write down all of the things that I'm gonna be talking about next week, because there are 3 conference talks, as well as Apple will be on Friday, if I'm not mistaken. So I'll be talking about probably their iPhone 19 and how they're trying to revolutionize things. It's
the same phone every time. They just improve one little thing.
there's rumors that it's going to return an old feature, the headphone jack.
The headphone jack. I was just about to say the headphone jack. Oh my god!
The headphone
I can tell you right now, as a person who has an iPhone, I will not be going out and buying this phone, whether it has one or not. I will use the phone I have until the day it dies.
That is fair.
I don't understand the new phone's out, I have to go get it thing from anyone, whether it's Apple or Android. Like I keep my phones until they don't work anymore.
Well, let's hope that it's a headphone jack, because for their sake, I believe their stock dropped a little bit too. But that's getting too politicky for me.
When you went through and you had this amazing thing, and then all you could do is slap a new coat of paint on it every year. Eventually, we're gonna catch on.
Yummy. Yeah, we just got new phones thanks to her phone blowing up with the battery, so we had to upgrade. The new phone is great; it's fantastic, but it's
definitely sounds like a Samsung.
It's new technology. Yeah. Ooh. I'll do the rundown then. Thank you guys for joining us. Remember to like and subscribe where you can. Remember to check out good old Humble Bundle for some inexpensive games for charity. And right now there's that really good Humble Monthly that has probably some bangers of games. And the Carnage Bundle if you happen to want to get an inexpensive version of Dead Island 2 with a bunch of pretty cool games like Laika. Check out Hero Forge. Hero Forge isn't running any deals, but good news, they are running a few really nice additional features. If you happen to have a D&D character that needs to be built, they've got choices now. Remember to go and check out Zenny if you happen to want to get some very inexpensive glasses. They now take all prescriptions and prescription styles. So now if you have just at least the numbers, it'll work. Check out Quincy on his threads. Check me out on my Twitter. I've been reboogalooing a bunch from CES currently, and even a couple sneak peeks for next week. So if you follow me on Twitter, you'll definitely see a couple of those. Oh yeah, Socks threw up the Discord. Be sure to check out the Discord if you happen to want to chat with us live or yell at us. You know, there's that there. We talk about random nonsenses. I talk about wrestling with one of my friends.
I'm terrible about being in there, but I also drive for work, so it's very difficult for me to Discord.
That is true, but if you add him, he'll pop in and go, huh?
Every now and then, yeah, generally. I'm walking in like I just got flashbanged.
At the end of days, at the end of weeks, at the end of months, at the end of years, be sure to love one another for this new year. It is definitely free to do. Bye, everybody.
See it.
Oh, man. Did you see the drone show that was above, what was it, Resort World?
No.
Oh. Yeah, they were promoting Stranger Things. It's really weird. Very creepy. But we could have seen it if we glanced out our window.